Welcome to Howbery Park, which has hundreds of unique trees from all around the world. Let me take you on a journey around this park and show you some of the unique qualities that we have here in the tree population. Here we have a fabulous avenue of small leaf lime, Tilia cordata, regarded as a cultural English heritage tree of rural England. The tree spreads all the way from Russia right the way through Northern Europe, providing fabulous nectar for bees in midsummer, but also at least 8 kilograms of oxygen for humans per tree. A renowned tree in the British Sylvian landscape has to be our native hornbeam, Carpinus betulus. The Saxons called them ironwood. Strong qualities, great wildlife habitat value, and a fabulous and beautiful British tree to be really proud of. A unique jewel in the crown here at Howbery is a survivor elm. Most elms in the UK have been wiped out by Dutch elm disease, and there's no chance of them really surviving or being able to be replanted en masse, except where some of a genetic quality or a unique genetic quality may be available. This tree has survived, and it's potentially a tree that can be bred from to actually help replenish the UK's elm population. A unique tree, extremely special and very valuable. So 300 years ago, this tree would have actually been a sapling. This is the English yew, Taxus baccata, and predates all sorts of theological use, renowned for its pagan worship, and a mysterious tree that is very, very valuable to the UK. Even the bows at Agincourt were built from the yew tree branches, and so a great amount of English history is hidden in the canopies of these trees. The Victorians were passionate collectors of trees, and Howbery has their fair share. One exceptional example is this Sequoiadendron giganteum, a giant redwood. Most people have heard of a giant redwood and will associate it with the western coast of California and lower Oregon. These trees actually grow very well in the UK. So, a Cedar of Lebanon, a tree that's actually scarce in its own native environment, which is predominantly Lebanon, Iraq, Turkey and Morocco. These trees were favoured by ancient Egyptians and Phoenicians and heavily felled to create palaces and boats. It was a highly desirable timber. The Temple of Jerusalem and Solomon's Place is built out of it. Again, the Victorians collected these trees passionately, and they can be found in abundance throughout the UK. So this mulch circle has benefited the tree over the last 6 years as it was quite stressed. Mulch is a natural holistic environment that trees would actually prefer, almost like a woodland floor. The London plane serves us as no other tree does. Its ability to tolerate poor soils, pollution and heavy pruning in towns has meant it's one of the few species that actually can thrive in such basically very difficult conditions. The majority of trees can't. These trees have been more of a contribution throughout the world and Europe to mitigating pollution, stormwater interception and shade than anything else. This beautiful Victorian lime walk in fact serves as a lovely shady place for people to go. The benefits of shade are numerous and particularly important in hot countries, and increasingly so in the UK. We are going to need to have more shade. Also, what an aesthetically pleasing run this is. This large and spectacular grey poplar has many unique qualities. You can see the quaking and the moving leaf. That actually helps the leaf from getting too hot, disperses heat and helps the tree dampen wind loading. The tree also has interesting strategies in that you'll see it's propagating itself via root. And of course, if anything actually happens to the parent tree, the tree has an ability to renew itself, a unique quality. So we have a riverside stand of grey poplar here, Populus canadensis. Beautiful, shimmering canopies. But how do trees stay up? How do they actually manage not to fall down? Well, apart from their inner fibre, they actually have interesting biomechanical defence strategies. These trees are quite leggy and long, what we call drawn in forestry. The tree's leaning to the northwest. It understands it's potentially a weak spot. A big gale, there might be a potential for a snappage. So the tree has produced its own extra adaptive wood, what's called fibre buckling. Trees spend a lot of their lives exercising. They understand the wind pressures and the wind loading they're under, and they produce adaptive wood so as to defend themselves against complete structural failure. At Howbery Park, we recognise climate change and the need to plan and have a strategy for that. So we've planted, for instance, trees that deal better with hot climates, such as this Platanus orientalis, this oriental plane, a tree that's held very sacred in India and can last up to an excess of 900 years. This tree here is a cork oak, again from a nice hot climate, and those of you who enjoy a glass of wine might recognise a little bit of the bark lower down. Known as the dawn redwood and Metasequoia clystrobiodes, these trees were rediscovered in 1941 in China after various attempts to find the last remaining trees in the world. Only known as fossils previously, they are now cloned and back in the UK. Our commitment to planting trees at Howbery encompasses a sound tree management plan. Both young, middle-aged and elderly trees should all coexist to create the perfect age class. As you can see, this and many other trees have been planted at Howbery. Our commitment to our landscape is paramount, and you can see that these trees will be splendid dawn redwoods in time, close to their river setting as they love to be near water.